Hi, I'm Nicole Smithy, co-founder of Iridescent Women, and today we're going to take a closer look at how Jesus confronted the neglect of justice by the powerful. Now let's take a look at Luke 11:37 through 42 together. It says, when Jesus had finished speaking, a Pharisee invited him to eat with him, so he went in and reclined at the table. But the Pharisee was surprised when he noticed that Jesus did not first wash before the meal. Then the Lord said to him, "Now then, you Pharisees clean the outside of the cup and dish, but inside you're full of greed and wickedness. You foolish people. Did not the one who made the outside make the inside also? But now as for what is inside you, be generous to the poor, and everything will be cleaned for you. Woe to you Pharisees, because you give God a tenth of your mint, rue, and all other kinds of garden herbs, but you neglect justice and the love of God. You should have practiced the latter without leaving the former undone." Ooh, now, this is a bit of a baller move on Jesus's part here, and here's why. The Pharisees and the scribes were the religious power people of the day, and Jesus did what others were not willing to do. He called out their hypocrisy, that outwardly they declared to love God and others, but their actions told a different story. Now here's a sobering truth. It's impossible to truly commit ourselves to fighting injustice without having to face our own hypocrisy. It's easy to shake our heads in disbelief at the state of the world. It's easy to form an opinion and give a critique about everything that's wrong today. It's another thing to look inward and say, change starts with me. I have to admit where I've claimed to have loved my neighbor and yet haven't actually done anything to help them. Where I've said I care about injustice, but not given of my time, my talent, my treasure for the betterment of the marginalized and hurting. Where I vocalize that I care about greater racial equity while also trying to protect and defend certain privileges that systems of racial injustice have afforded me. If I really want to pursue justice the way Jesus calls me to, then I must be willing to confront my selfishness, my greed, my apathy, and even my fears. If my value for justice is going to be more than a performance, but a true lifestyle, then I must experience a change of heart. Pastor Rich Villodas wrote in his book, The Deeply Formed Life, "Deeply formed mission is first about who we are becoming before what we are doing. Our most effective strategy in reaching a world for Christ is grounded in the kind of people we are being formed into. The quality of our presence is our mission." Now, the great question for all of us to reflect on is this: who is Jesus calling me to become? And what hypocrisy must I lay down to become someone who loves people and pursues justice genuinely, authentically, and sincerely? And in our final video, we'll explore how Jesus advocated for and served the poor, oppressed, and hurting.